To find out more about what the French healthcare system is like from the inside, I went to the American Hospital of Paris. And there I met with Dr. Jocelyn McGuinness, an American OBGYN who's been working in France for over 20 years. Thank you so much for being on the show, Doctor.
My pleasure.
Now, as a doctor with experience abroad, what would you say surprised you the most when you first started practicing here in France?
The use of midwives, sages-femmes here, as opposed to in the United States where we use nurses. As an obstetrician in the United States, we're the ones that are calling the shots and we're in charge. And here it was like, no, we're going to do this. No, we're not. The sages-femmes are the ones that are telling us how it's going to be managed. So it's a whole different approach to obstetrics and a different approach to medicine. I find it's a lot more paternalistic than I'm used to, for starters.
And by paternalistic, what do you mean?
I will tell you what you need to know. If I could apply United States medicine maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago, when you had a bad malady, you had cancer, and they decided not to tell the patient, but maybe they tell a loved one, but not to tell them. I felt at the beginning that it was very similar to that. In other words, it was 30 years behind emotionally than what it was in the United States.
Now, what would you say is your favorite thing about working in the French healthcare system?
I think the affordability and the access. If I can compare again to the United States, again as an obstetrician, the United States, we have a dismal record for neonatal mortality, and a lot of that is due because people can't necessarily access the system. They don't have the money, they don't have the insurance. In here, it's very well organized in that regard. It's affordable.
And what would you say is the most challenging aspect of working here in France?
Personalities. It's different. I'm not French, they're not American. The façon is completely different in terms of how you communicate.
And talking about French healthcare in general, it's credited, as you said, with being affordable, accessible, good quality. Some say it's the best system in the world. Would you agree with that?
I haven't experienced that many different ones. I've certainly been here. I lived in Belgium for a year, and obviously in the United States. And I would definitely put France. Yeah, it's very, very good.
So the French healthcare system is currently used as an example or a counterexample in the ongoing debate about healthcare in the United States. Do you think a French-style system would work in the United States?
I think it'd be excellent. I think it'd be difficult to implement because I think our healthcare system in the United States is run too much by the insurance companies. It's very different. They don't have the lawsuit problem that we have in the United States, the malpractice issue, which doesn't necessarily make you more sloppy, but it makes you more open to be able to accept patients because you're not going to have the constraints of what kind of baggage are you bringing with you, and I think that's important.
And what would you say are the main challenges that French healthcare is facing today?
I think it very well could go broke. I think that's what a lot of people are worried about. And at the same time, there are things they could do, I think, to improve. They could stop paying for some medicines they really don't need to pay for.
Yeah, I mean, the French love to...
Oh my gosh, yes, yes. They could clean that up a little bit and say, okay, fine, you need Tylenol, you can pay for it. You can pay for it. But that's also coming from a different industry. The pharmaceutical industry here, in terms of the pharmacies themselves, they're strong.
Yes.
They're very strong.
One final question. Would you recommend coming here to France for healthcare?
Yes, yes. Maybe not vacation surgery and things like that, but no, I think they do a good job.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Doctor. Thanks for being on the show.
Okay, thank you.